Yeah. You're handing them such a key to a very expensive thing. It's a $20,000 mistake sometimes. We are Moms Unhinged, a nationally touring stand-up comedy show. Join us in our podcast as we explore everything from motherhood, midlife crisis, marriage, divorce, online dating, menopause, and other things that irritate us. Hello and welcome everyone to the Moms Unhinged podcast. I am joined today by some of our amazing comedians. We've got Jen O'Neill calling in from Atlanta. We've got Megan King and Donna Lee coming into you from Texas. And yeah, welcome you guys. This is so fun.
Thank you for having us. It's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. We're just having little discussions about issues in parenting that make us crazy, that give us gray hairs, that are just exhausting times. And one of those times is teaching our children how to drive.
Yes.
And Jen is in the middle of it right now with her son. Donna and Megan have gone through it. I've already gone through it. So, but it is scarring.
It's unnatural. It shouldn't be. Like, it's not a thing. Like, vehicles shouldn't be moving at high speeds
with children,
like towards other things, and we shouldn't be teaching children how to drive large vehicles at high speeds towards things.
Yeah. I know.
It's just
or
away from things.
And yes, someone else. I mean, and it is terrifying. It's terrifying experience. Being in the car with them, your life flashes in front of you multiple times.
Our money. I was always worried about that. I was like, oh God, please don't wreck the car. Please don't wreck the car. Come on, Mommy cannot afford it.
Yeah.
You're handing them such a key to a very expensive thing. It's a $20,000 mistake sometimes.
Yeah. So, Jen, is your kid excited about learning?
He is excited about learning, but I think he's a little bit scared to, which is fine by me. I want him to be scared. Like, he's a little scared to drive on like highways and stuff, which I haven't done that with him yet. I'm divorced. His dad's going to have to take that on. I can't do highways. Like right now we are just, parking lots.
Yes.
Parking lots and neighborhoods. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So many parking lots. You'd spend your Saturday in a parking lot.
I started doing my youngest ones during COVID because there were so many empty parking lots. And I was like, let's just go do this.
That's a smart way to utilize your COVID time.
COVID friendly.
It's a fun activity. Yeah. I definitely remember my son, the moment he pulled onto like a 35-mile-an-hour street, he was just freaking out. And I was like, you got to go faster than 15, buddy. You gotta just step on the gas a little bit.
Yeah, you're creating traffic. So I have 3. My oldest one I had to force to learn to drive at 18. She did not want to learn. She was like, no. I was like, come on, I need your help. Like she's like 5 years older, and I was like expecting her to like do errands and shit. And she was like refusing to let her drive.
Yeah.
So that's a weird. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say that's the motivate. Like that's the thing is like I'm like I want him to drive because I want him to be able to take himself to lacrosse and or take his sister to school. And I want it, but I'm also terrified of it. And like I don't know how I'm gonna sleep, you know, when they get older and they're on the roads.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like and
it's such a weird thing to me that they don't want to drive. There's a lot of kids who don't want to learn how to drive nowadays. When I was a kid, it was like immediately as soon as the day you could get that permit, you were at the place getting it, you know.
So do your kids live in cities or suburbs?
I'm in the city, really. I mean, I'm in the suburb.
Okay.
Close enough, I feel like. It's
because I have this theory that I think that suburban kids want to drive immediately and want to get in the car and go. But city kids are like, why would I do that? I got Marta,
Yeah.
or like, it's
I have a
scarier.
friend.
Yeah, exactly. And so I
Yeah.
think like my niece didn't want to learn, and we all live in the city. My niece didn't want to learn. Sully kind of wants to learn, but he is still reluctant. But I have so many friends in the city whose kids don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son he learned how to drive at the age of 6 because we had a ranch and his dad had a giant tractor and he was driving a full-on tractor at 6, but then he learned how to drive a real car at like 11 or 12 and he could parallel park.
Oh, whoa.
He was a rock star, and when he turned 16 it was like nothing. I mean, he aced the test. It was incredible. My stepson, though, I have a stepson who never wanted to drive, and we forced him to drive, and he totaled 3 cars within like 3 years.
Oh my God.
Totaled 3 cars.
His lead on that, 'cause he's an expensive one. He would just
I think that sounds passive aggressive to me. Like you wanted me to learn?
I will wreck this car. Just like
Your insurance is gonna soar.
right. 324. We've already gotten him 6 cars.
Oh,
Like he's either
I have it,
totaled
yeah.
them, or he's wrecked them, or they broke down. But anyway, yeah, that's our dad's story. Yeah.
So are you keeping kind of a tally on like the most expensive kid? Because he sounds like probably the most expensive.
Sure.
maybe I need to make an Excel.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet, just put it on the spreadsheet.
And then,
Just
like,
yeah.
when you die, that just here's the
Yeah.
spreadsheet's attached. This is why you're getting what you're getting.
Oh, it's so smart. Take it out of their inheritance. Yeah. I love it.
That is hilarious.
I feel like
I love
Leanna's
that
gonna be like,
idea.
I knew it. I knew it. I never asked for money. Oh,
My
That's
son,
hilarious.
we proclaim he's going to be the most successful of the 3, sadly to say it against my husband's 2 sons, but he's going to keep us out of the nursing home, so we just give him whatever he wants. He's like, here, it doesn't ask for anything. We're like, if you need it, we're here to just keep us out of the nursing home. And
that's how I felt. I got really nice.
Yeah. There's some broad money there.
exactly.
There's
Like,
right.
you should have your
That's
shit
so
together.
funny.
What do you need?
You're the ones.
Yeah. I bought I have a manual, I have a stick shift, and I bought the car particularly to teach all of my kids to drive a stick shift, and they have refused. The only one that I really got in it was my oldest one, who again didn't want to drive till she was 18. And I remember she's like, I can drive, Mom. So she gets in the stick shift and we're in my subdivision and she couldn't get out of the subdivision without killing it 4 times. And I was like, can you listen to me now? And we can go to the parking lot and I'll teach you. It's not the same. Yeah.
Why do you want them to learn stick? I'm just curious. Asking because I don't know how to do
I
it.
feel like it's a skill set that's dying with my generation, and I was just trying to like pay it forward. What if the shit goes down? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm always a
Yeah,
pepper in my
yeah.
head, and I'm like, you might need this skill. And they do not.
You might need to find one of the 7 cars on the planet that are
Exactly.
still stick.
Yeah.
What if nothing can drive
you-
but stick shifts? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You know what happened though? I rented a car in England and I wasn't thinking about that. And there are more stick shifts over
they
there.
are?
And luckily I drove a stick shift like all through my 20s. I loved I had a little Toyota stick shift but it's on the other side, so I'm doing that. But like, I didn't think about the fact that like, I rented the car and didn't think to say I need manual or, whatever, or automatic. I don't know which, I always get confused what's which. Yeah. Hello, love. I'd like an automatic, please.
I don't know. Okay, so did you do okay? Were you gonna get to it?
I did okay. It was very stressful. My kids were in the car and I was at one time, somehow the hazards got on and we were driving through London and and there was the police and I was yelling at them. I think I pretty much scarred them pretty well, but, we did make it.
Stick shift. That looked really hard.
I know. So Jen, how is it? Has it been like, is he getting his hours? Cause the other thing you have to do is you have to get your hours in.
Yeah.
So many hours.
So I know that he hasn't started his, we're going to send him to a driving school. to like take care of the stuff we can't take care of. So, but so right now it's just like his dad practicing with him and me practicing with him. And I will say, I was so much more chill than I thought I was going to be, like driving around with him. And I was just like, to where I surprised myself. I was like, why am I so relaxed right now? Like, why? And I was like, and I wonder, I was like,
timid.
Is it because I'm like conditioned to think that like men should be driving? And I'm like, you know what I mean? And I wonder if I'll be different if it's my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, why am I so relaxed right now? Because I'm used to like men thinking like I'm the idiot that can't drive. And so, but once that was all in the parking lot. Yeah, like he's like, thanks for driving me. I'm so dumb. I don't even know. Where are we going?
No, ma'am, no.
That's cool. He's like taller than me now, and like I'm like, I go to him I'm like, is that true, Sally? Is it like what's happening with current events and stuff? I was like, is that true? And he's like, actually, it is, Mom.
Oh yeah. No, I think I thought my boys were dumb, so I don't know if I had the same thing, but they were scary. My oldest one mixed up the gas and the brake, and crashed into the back of our garage and just crushed. And the funny thing was, we had this, their old stroller that was like, it was kind of an expensive stroller. I was like, oh, I need to sell that. I was going to sell it because it was good, but it was in the garage, crushed it. And, also, shelving and some other things, but there was no, there wasn't much damage to the car. So that was a good thing, but yeah.
I remember that happened when I was teaching my youngest one about driving, and it was during Squid Game, and he was not doing the brake or the gas at the same time. And I was like, did you not red light, green light, bitch? Like, do I need to? We just watched that show. Oh God. And I remember this one distinctively. He was pulling out and he was stopping when he didn't need to be stopping. And so he almost got rear-ended a couple times. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah.
It made me have anxiety.
Oh, God.
When Sterling was 16, I remember he was such a good driver. I would shout things at him to try to throw him to see how he would handle it. So I would like scream raccoon or prostitute, and he would just
prostitute.
He's like,
did he pull over?
He was like, he stopped looking at me and goes, Mom, why do you keep yelling at me? And I'm just like, I'm trying to throw you off, but you're such a good driver.
Raccoon.
I know. What if he was like, hell yeah.
I gotta put on the blinker.
Right.
Which side? But it was like it's like those old driver's ed movies. They didn't have those kind of things coming out at you. Would you remember those old movies? Like you'd have to, you guys are probably too young. I had the movie where you'd be like, and the door would open and the cyclist would come out and, they didn't have the prostitute
No, they didn't have I took driver's ed and the coach was teaching it. And when we had to get into the car and drive around, he was so sexist the whole time talking about how, women just aren't good drivers.
See, that's why I'm conditioned. It's these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so true. The coach used to teach, that's what was at our school too. The coach taught, the coach got weird jobs. They had to teach, health or whatever. And then driver's ed. And I was driving and they had those cars where they've got the brakes, but I was driving and I pulled out and I didn't look around a bush that was on the side on the corner. And a car was coming. So I ended up in the ditch with all of the students in it.
In the actual car, not the simulated one, the real, oh my God.
No, it was an actual car with all the students. We used to have to take turns with all the students driving.
Oh, did you do the thing where it made the car feel like you were drunk? Did you have that?
No.
We had that for one time. It was like, it felt that they tried to make the car feel like you're a drunk driver and it doesn't
oh my.
So just to prove you not to drink and drive, basically, back in the day.
Oh.
Wow.
And it was fun.
So did your parents teach you guys too, to how to drive? Do you remember any moments from when your parents were teaching you?
Oh, yeah,
I
was
remember
in
my
the
mom.
country, and I lived out in the country. So my mom said she was going to teach me how to drive, and she's Asian, as you know. And she said, "Oh, Mama, I teach you to drive because I'm the calm one. I'm the calm one." And so she takes me in the back rows, and she's screaming the entire time, "We're going to die! We're going to die!" And she's just screaming, and we just start screaming. And I was like so freaked out. So we get home, and then my dad got in the car, and he was the angry one. We thought for sure he would be the yeller and the screamer. He was so calm. He taught me how to drive, and everything was fine. And I was like, I'll never trust that woman again.
That was almost the same thing I had. My mom literally got in a fetal position like this while I was driving. And I was like, and I wasn't even close to like a thing. I wasn't.
Oh my
And
God.
she was like, you're going to hit that car. You're going to hit that car. And then she was like, I can't. And I'm the oldest. So she didn't even try to teach my sister. She's like, I'm done. And so my dad had to, and they were divorced at the time. So my dad had to come back around, which was also weird.
Oh, no.
So my dad was like the mean one. So I didn't want to drive with my dad. And my mom was the one that was like, oh my God, like freaking out. And so she had to stop, and she let my sister teach me, who was only 2 years older than me. I'm sure that's illegal now, but she let her teach me. And then she had her friend teach me. And then when I went to go take the test, my dad took me to take the test, and I was like terrified of him. And I was trying to back out of the driveway, and I guess like I almost hit the basketball pole, and he started yelling at me, and I was like, forget it. Like, I don't want to go. Dad. And then he was like, no, you're getting in the car. You're taking the test for practice. And he like made me go take the test for practice. Oh, no. And when I came, I like aced it. I like killed it, and like so I came out with my license. He was like, no way. And like, he was like yelling at them for giving me my license. And I'm like, sorry, state of Georgia. So
he's like, no, trust me.
Yeah, he's like, no way. And what's so funny is that night I went out driving, and I had all my girlfriends in the car, and I was so excited because I had my license and I'm driving. And then there's this car there's a car of boys, and they're like, driving next to me. They're screaming at it, like yelling stuff. And I'm like, hey, what's that? Like, and I was like, hey. And then I realized that I turned the window down. I'm doing this because it's an old car. And they were like, yeah. Turn your lights on. I was driving around, and I was like, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I had no business driving. I had no business having my license. I couldn't even back out of the driveway. But for some reason, I did well in a parking lot test, and they threw a license at a 16-year-old whose sister taught her to drive.
16 is
It feels so young. It's so young. I know. You just don't have a lot of brain capacity, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's smart now that they don't allow your friends to drive with you, because that was the first thing you did back in the day when you get your license. You would just pick up all your friends. You'd have a car full of people shouting stuff, and you barely have any, capacity for knowing how to drive at that time.
So when I first learned how to drive at 16 in tiny little Texas town, I pulled up to the Dairy Queen because I saw this cute boy's car, and I wanted to show off that I could drive now. And I pulled up, and he saw me. He's coming out of Dairy Queen, and he saw me, and he was so cute. And I saw him, and I completely went too fast into the spot, and I hit over the curb and slammed into the pole that was right in front of it. And I dented my car right away. And the boy looked at me like, you dumb dodo.
Could you come fix my car?
Could you fix the generator?
Oh my God. That's so crazy. Well, so with my boys, I didn't want to care about the car in case that they, dented it and stuff like that. So we had gotten this old, at the time it was new. It was, a Honda Odyssey minivan. And I was like, okay, this is your car now, and I'm going to go get a new car, or newish, whatever. I've never gotten a new car in my life, but a used car. And so they got to drive around this old, and the paint was peeling, and it was like dented because, they like ran into stuff and whatever. So that was their car, in high school. And my youngest son put like lightning bolts on it. So,
nice.
So it tried to make it cool and like, kind of jazz it up. They had like some lights in like fancy lights inside. And, and then they took out the back seats and put a recliner in there. So he's pulling into high school like, oh yeah. Driving the minivan with the lightning bolts. So.
That's hilarious. We're gonna
yeah.
As I say, a minivan is a pretty good car for that age because they're going to get all of their friends that they ever had in one car.
Yeah, that is true. They would totally load it up and go places.
My mom did the same thing. She bought like a $500 car for me and my sister to share because we're 14 months apart. And my sister was cool and I wasn't. And my sister was like, I will never drive that car. Oh my God. So I was like, oh, my car by myself. Thank you.
So you shared a car with your sister and your boys shared a car?
Yeah.
And
but my boys
did they not fight about it?
Well, they were I know, right? My boys were 3 years apart. So they really, by the time my youngest was learning to drive, my oldest was going off to college. So it worked out pretty well. But like, I can't imagine if you guys were close, then there's just you would have.
Yeah. When she said no, I was like, okay, cool. I didn't know how this was going to work. So. Yeah, she would have been an asshole, I think, to share with. But we both worked. We both were in school. I had extracurricular, plus I worked. So we were just busy people. My mom was probably just sick of driving.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, that is the bonus of getting your I mean, I just remember that, like, I was so tired of being, I think that's what happens is you're so tired of being the shuttle that you're like, fine, take it. Take the car, go. Yeah.
My son just joined lacrosse and it's like a new thing and it's every single day. And sometimes the bus, when he showed me his schedule and it's like, I have to go pick him up at like 10 o'clock at night on a Monday. And I'm like, I want to be asleep by 8:30 on a Monday. Like, you want me to stay awake and then come pick you up? Like, that's crazy. But, so I'm like looking forward to him being able to drive himself home from lacrosse at 10 o'clock on a Monday. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm new to being a sports mom. Like, he was always an indoor kid and now all of a sudden he's into sports. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. But it's exhausting.
That was my oldest was an indoor. My last one is the one I had to drive everywhere. So thankfully not all three of them because I would have probably been like, okay, now someone has to die. Do it.
You're just going to pick who has the least activities. You guys, you get to stay.
The others go live with their dad. Yeah, exactly. It would have been him.
Oh my gosh. It is such a crazy time. And then what gets crazy too is when they start to date.
Oh.
And then they're out with the car.
Yeah. That freaks me out.
Yikes.
That's weird.
I'm
Yikes.
really worried about that. Yeah. I remember when my mom used to like, I'd come home from being out or whatever, and my mom would be like awake and like sleepy eyed and like, I told you to come. And I was just like, go to sleep, mom, go to sleep. Like, just go to sleep if you're tired. And then she was just like, I can't sleep if I know that you're out on the roads. And I thought she was crazy, but now that I'm a mom, I totally get it. Like, there's no way I can sleep if I know that my children are out driving around at night.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. My mom had no clue what and where I was all the time. Like, I am so thankful social media was not a thing. Quit being shit. Sorry. I'm a really good mom, even to my dogs. But I will say, like, my kids, on the other hand, man, they might have told me something, but I bet you anything they weren't always where they told me. And I didn't have a tracker on their phones because my kids don't listen to me. Did you have
that's
that?
the new thing.
Yeah.
No, I never did the tracking. I know friends of mine did. I never did the tracking. My thing was like when I was married, my husband could not go to sleep. I could, because I'm like, I am tired. And so my thing was, I'm not going to track you, but I need to be able to wake up and see that you're not dead. So I need like some check-ins. Like you need to text me and say that you're alive. And, yeah. So, but I have mixed feelings about the trackers because I don't know. I mean, I think in some ways it's good, but I don't know. In some ways you're like, God, I don't want to be like, what are you doing out? Because there was one night where my son drove to Wyoming because he felt like it with his friends.
How far is that from you?
It's a couple hours. They just drove to Wyoming.
If one of ours had driven to Wyoming, that'd be much more of an adventure. But that's crazy.
I mean, I think if I had seen that on my tracker, I'd been like, well, he's kidnapped.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
My sister has it. My sister, she has 3 kids like I do, and she tracked all of them, and now they're adults. She still tracks them. So
yeah, isn't that weird? I know people who still track their adult kids.
That feels weird. That feels invasive.
My mom tracks my niece, who is now about to turn 21, and she just spent 6 months in like Italy and traveling around and stuff for school. And my mom would be like looking at her phone, like she's in Switzerland now. Like it was like but she didn't track us when we were kids. But if it was available, she probably would have. But.
Yeah.
But that makes sense for if they're out of the country like that. I feel like that's safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
yeah.
No.
True.
I mean, when she just like, she's at work right now, or she's at, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
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 Man.
Yeah. It's such a weird time. And it just, makes it so much more interesting with all the options we have for them, so. I don't know. That's funny that your mom tracks her granddaughter.
Yeah.
It's a close family. That's all. It's a good close family.
Yeah. Well, you guys, this has been super fun. I love these little talks we get. Plus I get to see you guys. Sometimes I haven't seen you in a while. So yay. So thank you so much. And hey, anyone out there, if you have stories, unhinged moments about teaching your kids how to drive, share them in the comments. Let us know. Tell us your crazy stories. How many cars? Can you beat Donna's number of cars her son wrecked? How many? How many was it? It's 6?
I really hope I don't.
6 cars. Yeah, I would.
6 cars for one kid.
No.
6 cars for one. Who can beat it out there? I think that's got to be the record. So
after 2.
For sure.
Oh my God.
My pushover husband.
Yeah.
what is that? Fool me once? I don't know what that is, but fool me 6 times. I feel like.
Ironically, that child is now a grown-ass man, and he is in mechanic school.
Well, good. He can fix his own cars.
Investment for himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every car in the world, and he knows how to fix cars, and I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's poetic.
Oh my God. Well, this has been so much fun, you guys. I know. Donna and Megan's moving camera. Jen, good luck going through this. We're just sending you good vibes that you make it through.
Thank you.
Jen.
And eventually he'll be driving himself
Thank
to
you
the
for
cross.
the support.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thanks so much.
So.
And everyone, we'll have these guys linked in the show notes so people can follow them online. Follow Moms Unhinged if you aren't already. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and make sure you subscribe, share, and follow us on the socials to get more comedy clips.